We switch pod. The boys are back. How are you,
Yes,
Chris?
sir. Yes, sir. Coders. No, I saw it, so I'm good, man. I'm good. How you doing, bro?
Good myself. Good myself. I think you're alluding to a departure that's imminent now. I'm good myself. The Dan
Hmm.
Carters of podcasting here to give your opinions, our flagrant takes, and of course, feel free to share your opinions, your takes. I'm sure some of you, the supporters, got what they were wanting or wishing for, although it's not as timely as they would have been hoping. But we'll
Yeah.
get into that. Church announcements, you can catch us here, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, the socials, and please subscribe, trying to get those numbers
Mm.
up. Yeah, I think there's news of the day and news of yesterday. Bok team
Yeah.
announced versus Japan. And I think, but let's start with news of today, which is that John Plumtree will be leaving the Sharks at the end of the season.
Hmm. Yeah. Well, leaving the head coaching role, isn't it? You'll be there in an advisory capacity. Although I don't know what we are advising because, you know, just look.
Yeah.
And it's been a long time coming. The writing's been on the wall. I think, yeah, end of season, leaving it too late. But hey, you never know. Maybe now he just goes all out. He knows that either way, I'm out. So he's going to just do whatever, and
Yeah.
maybe that whatever gets him the results. Although for me, I would have liked for them to say, look, let's just sever ties now.
I saw a
Get this.
headline. I saw a headline saying that the senior players, like, well, some of the senior players stepped in and kind
Mm.
of said, no, not don't make it like an immediate firing. Let's
Yeah.
take the guy until the end of the season. I don't know how true that is, but
Or maybe they were saying, no, give us a chance. We believe. Because at the same time, but hey, you know what? At the end of the day, if that's the case, if the senior players were coming in, stepping in, defending, then the results they need to deliver the results. You know what
yeah.
I mean? On the field, because at the end of the day, this is a results thing, and that's what we want to see. But yeah, it'll be interesting who's going to come in.
Mm.
That's because it's one thing now you've identified that
We've got
okay,
a
there
guy
needs
in
to be a
Joburg that
change.
can do a job.
No, no, no. No, 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 no,
Yeah, you
no.
guys, isn't there's a pipeline from
Aye.
Johannesburg to Durban.
No,
It's
he's fine
it's
there in Joburg.
notorious
Leave him
pipeline.
there.
So
He's at home. You leave him at home. Leave him at home, bro. He's been there. No, no, Kodas, no. But that's the thing for me now is going to be who's the next guy.
yeah.
And what is he going to bring? And it's got to be results. That's all that's acceptable. Like we keep on hammering the Sharks team, the money behind it, everything. They've got everything going for them except the results. So that's got to change. And yeah, it's not nice, but it must be done.
Yeah, just news coming out of the Sharks as well was that on Monday, guys, part of the backroom staff had to bring in written explanations of
Yeah,
what exactly they
yeah,
do at the franchise,
yeah.
which, yeah,
Wenzani when emsebenzini, you know. Tell us what are you doing here? Because you
yeah,
see, and then that's what results have brought. It's opened the door to that because they weren't getting them. So now it needs a deep dive to say, okay, what's the problem? Where's it
yeah,
coming from? What are people doing? There are too many chefs in the kitchen. Yes, I believe. Um, because you can't really. Yes, Plumtree is the figurehead, but then there's so many other components to it as well. Other guys that are also
yeah,
having their input as well. They're breaking up into little micro teams. Okay, me, I'm doing this skill, that skill. Whoever's coaching those various aspects, they also need to take a hard look at themselves. And not be
mm,
surprised if a few don't also follow and face the chopping block because, I mean, they've been part of it. So,
yeah.
it's one thing saying plum out, but plum and friends.
Yeah, they've said they're going to continue to critically review all the structures and
Yeah.
basically within the whole rugby program. The other thing that they did mention was how proud they are of the shining light, which is the juniors and the junior structures.
Mm.
So they've said that you guys are messing up, but you're doing
But yeah,
fine.
no, the
Which,
juniors.
Yeah, you
Very
guys are
proud of
doing
the
fine. Yeah,
kids.
we're
The
very,
kids
very
are
proud.
doing
Very, very
well.
proud.
Kids are
Yeah,
doing well. It's just
yeah,
these adults that are a problem. These ones, you know.
yeah. Moving on, other news, Vessels, his 9 week suspension has been brought down to 8 weeks. I think they said he didn't appeal, but they just brought it down. For me, I won't lie, it's kind of a non-story, it's a non-issue. I think it's been heavily, heavily, heavily spoken about
Yeah,
in like rugby circles and among rugby supporters and everything. But to me, it's kind of a non-issue. I don't know. I mean, I'm less sympathetic to the cause. It looks like he grabbed them. It looked like he grabbed them. I won't lie. You can. There's all kinds of explanations. There's all kinds of cover ups. Okay, no, he was doing this. If you can't prove it, you can't prove it. I've watched the video. It looked like he grabbed them. So I guess I'm just less sympathetic to the cause, and I don't find it
yeah.
particularly interesting. I find this whole thing very boring. So like I'm not gonna go and rant and rave on about it.
Here's
I
the
mean,
thing.
okay, it is harsh. It is harsh. Like nine
Yes,
weeks, even 8 weeks, it is harsh. But yeah,
you see, what makes it worse is this: you're giving the guy 8 weeks, 9 weeks. It's the same. You're giving them 9 weeks, and the other guy for clear,
yeah.
clear foul play. You're saying no, it's
But he got his
because
punishment. He got the red.
you know, but no, it's not allowed. You must also face some a bit of sanction, a bit there. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? It's not allowed. You shouldn't do that. So, why doesn't he get even at least 2 weeks,
yeah,
to say, aye, you must sit down for 2 weeks. And you, Mr. Allegation, alleged cook punch, you know what? You're the one that started this thing. We don't have the evidence, but there's
yeah,
no smoke without fire, and we give you 4 weeks, if you know what I
yeah,
mean. That would have been fine, but don't do this thing again. But now the way that they've gone about it, yeah, it's like I hear you and you say, look, it's not, it's neither here nor there. But at the same time, it's the way that World Rugby has gone about this thing that's created this conversation around it. But
yeah,
I agree with you. It looked like he did, and you have to be honest and be a reasonable person too. And as a guy, you're gonna react. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So, and it looks like it's not concrete, but it looks like. And if it looks
yeah.
like most of the time, sometimes what it looks like, it is what it looks like. Yeah, sometimes it is what it looks like.
Yeah,
Sometimes it is what it looks
yeah, I
like. You
fully
see,
agree
so
with you there.
whatever,
Fully.
man.
Yeah, but not, yeah, moving on. Like I said, to me, it's not very
Yeah,
interesting. Much rather move on from that. And yeah, news of the week, Bok team announced versus Japan. Um, yeah, the major news from a high level is that Zachary Porthen is going to make his Bok debut.
yeah.
Esterhazen is among the forwards, and then Colby is playing fullback. Just to run through the team, it's Ox, Marks, Porthen, RG, Luet, Sia, Franco Mostert, Visa. Sia's there, so I think his 100th cap is most likely going to be against France.
Mm-hmm.
Then you've got Reinach, Sasha, Arons is back. You've got Dielendi and Creel back at center, hooker, and then you've got Colby playing fullback. On the bench, you've got Grobbies, Stinnerkamp, Lowe, Nokia, Esterhazen listed as a forward, Quacker Smith, Grant Williams, and Mani.
Mm.
Thoughts?
Big ups to the young man getting
Yeah,
his first start. I think starting there. Um, I won't say baptism of fire as such. No disrespect to Japan, but they're not like world-renowned scrummages, and
yeah,
yes, they will beat us because they've beaten us before, and this is a redemption song. I mean, it's been you know dubbed as that in some circles, but yeah, I think overall continuity, strong team. I think he's mentioned that the guys from that play in Japan, it's a chance for them as well to get back into things. So you see Mostert coming
Yeah.
in there, universal soldier there at 7. He's expected to sort of pick up in his normal role that he's been playing for the Box. So strong backline, more or less the same as what you had recently. Kirtley coming back. Kirtley looked strong over the weekend.
Yeah, you would
Colby
have
there.
thought that he might have got a shout at fullback instead of Colby.
Yeah, well, I think maybe Colby because more XP there.
Mm.
So
I'm
I
not
think
mad at either. Yeah.
yeah, so but overall, I think expecting here, look, they definitely, the basics, the core up front, and then with Sasha, the guys, hopefully they can get in the mood and start ripping them. So, and even with the bench coming on, all you see there is big impact, that you expecting from the guys on the bench. Hoblas, Dennekamp, expecting a lot of energy, stability in the scrum with Volkolo, Nokia as well to also give you all the work rate. It'll be interesting to see if
Yeah.
he's going to come on at 7, or at it'll be interesting to see where he comes on. Stays in there as well. Yeah, so I think it'll be interesting one to, but Box definitely, they should get the job done. Japan will have some tricks,
Yeah.
with Eddie Jones, but I think overall, yeah, no, the Box should get over this one.
Yeah. Krobby's big chance for him.
Yeah,
Uh, Manus has been dropped, or he's not part of the end of year tour, and they've got him as the third hooker, and then you've got Mbongeni who's playing at the Barbarians this
variance.
weekend. You would have thought with Vessels out that they would have brought Bongi in, but maybe they're just letting him play that game, then they will bring him in. But
Yeah,
a chance there for Hobbies with the third hooker spot. Yeah, the only thing I can say is that a lot of supporters have been talking about how it's maybe a missed opportunity in terms of giving newer guys a run because it is kind of continuity. Just we
yeah,
don't really have, a fullback in that, but it's kind of more of the same in a way.
yeah,
So I know some people would have been saying it's a missed opportunity, but at the same time, these guys they've got their own plans, they've got their own, So
yeah.
so I can't.
And you
I
can't
guess I'm not on
underestimate
either side of
Japan.
it. Yeah,
And you don't underestimate Japan and, have egg on your face. Because they'll definitely be prepared. I think they're coming off a test, recently. So they will be in the groove, definitely. And then,
yeah,
they've got the wily old fox in Eddie Jones there, that he was the one that was behind it in the first place when Japan beat us. So, you
yeah,
know, he'll definitely feel that he can pull a few surprises. But so the continuity, I'm not against it. And because for me, there's a big mission ahead, So yes, there'll be chances for other guys, different combinations. I think in maybe like your Italy game, yeah, there. But France and Ireland are the big ones, and actually a 5 out of 5. So
yeah, yeah. Then Barbarians very heavily Safa loaded team there. I can just see Mbonambi, Keble, and Klabakanye,
what time are they even
Boas.
play?
I don't know. I think is it 1 o'clock that they play against the All Blacks, 15 there. But yeah, very South African heavy team and a very
Mm.
Stormers heavy team.
No,
Seeing
it's double
Klaka,
at the helm there.
yeah, yeah, and Klakani there as well. So nice to see him play at a high level. But yeah, let's discuss some URC.
Yeah,
I think let's start with Bulls and Warriors. Not too much to say for me on this. I think Bulls, we're starting to see that counter attack be a hallmark of the team, especially with Willie
yeah.
LaRue there. And yeah, it's especially from kick return. They keep cutting teams open from kick return, and it looks like it's a hallmark of this side now that potentially it's coming from Willie LaRue or it's coming from Ackerman, but they're dangerous in that Willie will get
Yeah,
the ball and then put the clerk into space, and then all of a sudden they're on the other side of the
the
field.
clock is hot now. He's hot. I won't
Yeah,
lie. He's hot. And he's justifying his call up. But Glasgow at home, always dangerous quarters. They're always going
Yeah,
to,
it's the same
bring that.
story. They do the same thing where it's like you can compete, and then like the last 20, 30, they just pull you into deep waters and drown you.
Mm, mm, the Bulls a little bit, the directness. Yes, I know the kick returns, the counter attack play. But I think also when, especially early on in the second half, when they became a bit more direct, it paid off for them. I think, the thing that's still killing them is the defensive lapses, that they're having.
Yeah,
And Glasgow, the tempo that they play at, they were able to take advantage of that. But overall, yeah, in terms of the Bulls from where they are, in terms of the coaching and all of that, it wasn't a too bad performance. Again, it's still definitely things that they should be improving on, especially those defensive lapses. You don't want it to be too easy for these guys to get into the game. I'll What I mean by defensive lapses is, I think, was at 69th minute or so. Namakaba, the Bulls were on defense in their own 22, and they pushed Glasgow outside of the five, and because it was offensive defense, and on just that one play where Kaba actually, he didn't press up, he waited for the defense, they gained
yeah,
that momentum, and from there they scored and they got into the game. And and it's just those moments where you feel, if stop that momentum, they get the energy and they can maybe go and do something, and it could be a different result at the end of the day. So things like that, which they can definitely improve on. I think, yeah. So we still give Uckers some time, but I think the Bulls, they'll come right. But it's Glasgow, and it's Glasgow at home. Glasgow at home, you can just see it, and you can hear even at the crowd. Glasgow at home, it just looks different.
yeah. It's a terrible place, and you can see it coming. You can see it. The only unfortunate thing was, the try that was disallowed. If that
Mm,
stands, you take it further. You're competing further, but then
yeah,
goes against you. They kick, they get territory, the strong set piece, and they just know how to close it out in the end. It's yeah, they didn't win the tournament for nothing. But um, yeah, no, moving on. Lions versus Ulster. I wasn't that optimistic coming into the game. Another Ellis
yeah.
Park that wasn't as full as it should be. Maybe the results will bring supporters back, but
Mm,
I don't know. I guess I'm also not as happy with the results, even though it was a win and I wasn't expecting a win, because it's kind of same problems. If they have a strong set piece, but at the same time, when you see like the tries that they're leaking, Balogun getting a hat trick, they're not pressing
mm.
up. They're not. It's still. It's not as impressive as you
They're
want it to
not.
be.
Yeah, they're
And
not
and like
together. And
they have moments where they turn it on, and like you can see before they're gonna score. You can see like it
yeah,
they heat up and
it's
it's
coming.
coming now. You,
It's
you can
coming.
see
Yeah.
the switch has now been flipped, and once they get behind that defense, it's gonna be a try. Like you can call
Yeah.
it 2 3 phases before they're gonna score now, and
Mm,
that's
mm,
that's
mm,
the thing that tends to happen with them. But you want to see more. I guess it's
mm.
it's two back-to-back wins. It's good that they have gotten the results now. It's no longer doom and gloom. But then next we're gonna face the Bulls. Then we're gonna lose. Then it's back to doom and gloom. But
Yeah.
they've got the results. Strong set piece. And Klabakanya, nice little pass there for SJ Kotza. Things like that. Those are good parts. But like I said, backing off defensively and allowing Ulster to
Yeah.
play, it can get you into trouble. And again, it's not a refereeing podcast, but there were certain refereeing decisions in this which I wasn't the happiest on. Like one, there was an obstruction like 2 phases back, and then it landed up in a try. So it's things
Mm.
like that where, but
Yeah,
and then,
but
and
I
then there was a
think,
high tackle on Renzo Duplessis as well, which they were
yes,
just like, yeah, it's fine.
but I think, you know what, I think I can understand your disappointment, quarters, because if you think there was a time last season where the Lions, they're looking like, okay, they can do something, and they can,
Yeah.
and they just haven't been able to kick on from that, because that's the sort of momentum that you could argue they carried a little bit into the Curry Cup up until they got to that final and whatnot. But in the URC, there was a time where they were looking
Yeah.
like, okay, they can
They're a
become a team
borderline
that can,
playoff team.
yeah, and it's just now, yes, the results are there, but you just can't see how it's sustainable for them to become a next round team, a knockout round team. In the URC, it's hard to see. But I understand, and I still say, the results. It's also because they're at home. It's
Yeah.
you can't lose at home and all of that. So more than likely you're going to get the result. But it still doesn't, for me, still doesn't paper over all the issues. But that's for you. But I'm just saying.
Yeah, it
I'm just
doesn't. And
saying.
we're cheating. We're also cheating a bit because we're playing touring sides early on, that early game Saturday where at altitude, the heat,
No, they must suffer, really. I know they must feel it.
No, I agree with it. I agree with it. I'm just saying it's playing it into our hands
Yeah,
at some point. But yeah, like said, you just want more. You want to see better. It is an
yeah.
improvement. They have gotten the results. It was a bit more exciting when Lombard came on. He got a nice line break there.
Mm.
I'm still not big on Niku Stain and Chris Smith as a combination. Yeah, it's but
That's what I was
we'll take.
saying. It doesn't paper over the cracks, the result. But again, if they keep doing this and they get to the final and they win the thing, you say, hey, what a team. You know what I mean? So it's as long as the results are coming, that's the only thing that's
Yeah,
keeping the status quo. But the moment where the results are really not coming, and especially from a performance perspective, then
yeah.
yeah, then yes, if you don't see those changes or you don't see something different, yeah, it's gonna be very, very, very tough to come back from.
We need the same critical investigation into finding out who's doing what in this organization. We need the same thing. But moving on to the Sharks. Uh, Masuku out last minute. Sean Smith
Yeah.
comes in. Sharks versus Scarlets. Big carries in the start. Big
Mm,
momentum. You've got Hendrickson playing fullback, which is a better option. And then there's excitement. They get a try, and then they just can't pull away. They just
yeah.
can't pull away, and they keep conceding and they keep conceding. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, you can come out with all that energy, big carries. You got Sia doing things, but ultimately, it's still a team that's not well coached. And after the
Yeah.
game, you've got Elizabeth coming out and saying like talking about players playing with hunger,
Yeah.
and
I was gonna
we had the hunger
talk
this
about that.
week, and my thing is you can't be fueled by emotion every single week.
Yeah.
You can't be fueled by emotion. It's work
Yes.
also. There's days
Yeah.
where I don't want to go to work. I just have to go to work and get the
You
job
have to
done.
do it. Get the
And
job done, man.
yes, and if you guys are coached in a way that you can still put things together and get over it. It can't be every single week. You must be up for this game. It must be fueled by emotion.
Yeah.
It must be, and it just shows the team. I'm not big
Yes,
on that
no,
kind of
I agree
statement.
with you, Cordis, because if there's a coaching plan and the coaching setup that's working, there where you know that okay, if you execute things like this, even if you had 80% or let's say 80%, 85%, you get the result. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like you get the result. Then you'll say, but now it's because they lost last week, now the back's against the wall. Yeah, we're angry. We've been, they're lucky that there's a internationals now because it was going to be interesting to see if they were going to be able to back it up, to come from, okay, yeah, no, we
yeah,
won. And look, it was the Scarlets. And like I said, Scarlets would have had their own little plans and things that they would have seen to try against them. And we saw that, they saw, okay, let's try get under their skin as well. Let's try the off the ball, take their focus off the game, and also, how they were trying to play with tempo and attacking them, and especially a bit closer to the breakdown where defense is not. There's still defense is still not good with the Sharks. Whether it's
Mm,
closer, whether it's even when they take it out wide, there's just first phase even there's just yeah man he got the result and I said with the Lions it doesn't paper over the cracks but
yeah,
they got what we needed out of this game in terms of a win. Otherwise it was going to be very very bleak, because even so when you look back at that game the last maybe 20 15 minutes or so it looked like if Scarlets really, if they keep their act together, they can come away with something. Yeah,
yeah,
they look like they could. The Sharks weren't stable in the beginning. Yes, there was a bit control in terms of ball in hand, but as it went on, it looked more and more like okay, anything can happen in this game, and yeah, but got the result. Good as what can we say?
yeah.
Put the
Scarlet's
house on
good.
it.
Yeah, Scarlet's good game plan and they had good strike plays and they targeted the weakness as well. Weaknesses, pillars sleeping. Lee Marvin
Mm,
Mazipuko, that guy. And also the other strike play, they got John Smith. John Smith, I mean,
yeah.
I'm not big on his performance. Yeah, I'm not big on his performance. Masuko also wasn't great last week, and then he came
He
in.
wasn't. They haven't been. There's nobody there that you can say has been like, oh, okay, man,
Yeah,
this guy. Like you're getting even Nuka, you're getting what you get from him. He's doing everything that he can, but he's also like, yo,
yeah.
I'm not a one man team. You know what I mean? I'm not a
Yeah, the
one man team.
backline, again, that's the thing. The backline isn't enterprising at all. And then you've got that's getting a start, a rare start these days. And it's not much. The backline
Yeah,
isn't enterprising at all. And I don't know if it's a coaching thing, which I put it down to a coaching thing.
yeah. Look,
But
with the tries
it's
that they scored as
just
well, it was sort of better. You can say better shape. Although you'll say, okay, it just Scarlets, it's not the best defense in the competition. So, you know, at the same time, so I think we mustn't forget that when they do get it right, it looks good, and it's just that thing of they're not able to do that consistently and against anybody, and everybody. That's and like you say, guys are getting starts, rare starts, and it's just there's no fuse, there's no
yeah, there's no
and
spark.
so yeah, man. Look, be happy with the win, yes, but yeah, with the
Yeah, the
news that came
unfortunate
out
thing,
today, it will
yeah.
get better. It
And
will get better.
again, it's like it goes back to that where I am with this team is that supporters are being robbed week on week of having this much talent, and then the talent gets
Yeah,
them over the line, like in this case. But imagine what you could be seeing with a better
put on a
coach.
show.
You
Yeah,
could
give
be
us a
seeing
show.
a proper, you could be seeing a proper show, and even Evan was saying that he was surprised when he drove in at how many people were there. The people are showing up even for poor performances.
Yeah, you see.
So it's again it's a thing of like imagine what you could be seeing if another coach had these type
Yeah,
of players.
yeah.
Even Cash would be doing better. But moving
Hell.
on, just give him a chance. Give him a chance.
Nah, nah, bro.
Anyway,
Keep him, man.
moving on. Stormers versus Benetton. Sasha he went home, so Matthias stepped in and he had a man of the match performance.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, I don't know. Benetton looked a bit uncharacteristic in terms of they were trying the high ball tactic a lot and they were trying box kicks a
Mm,
lot, which
mm.
I don't think was working. And
Yeah.
it just worked like for one of their tries, but it's like you're an enterprising running team.
They went away from their thing,
Yes,
ne?
so I don't know if I'm guessing they went away from that either because of the weather or because the Stormers were a top of the log team that they thought because
Yeah.
this was played like a test match. It was played like
Yeah.
a test
Yeah.
match in terms of going for poles. Both teams, because Thomas matched them in that, and they're like, okay, if you want to play like this, we'll also play like this, and we'll
Yeah.
we'll also go for poles.
Yeah.
And for me, the Stormers edged them in quality in terms of their kick. They were kicking a lot better, so they were moving up in territory, and then they were playing in now Benetton 22, Benetton
Benetton's
half,
22.
Benetton make a mistake. The last try summed this whole game up for me, where kick into Benetton half, they make a mistake on the line out, then you score.
Yeah.
And
It,
they
it,
had
it-
Galant. You can say what you want to say about Galant. Kicking for territory was good.
yeah.
Mattia, he was man of the match. Kicking for territory, he was also good. The scrum
But you
halves
could
both,
see.
yeah,
But you could see quarters. What I would say is that you could see that there was a clear plan, clear directive to say, okay, these guys, because Benetton can play, and we saw a
yeah,
bit of that, when especially of broken field, how they can, how they can hurt teams. You could see that no, there was a clear directive to say, look, these guys want to play, they must play from their own half. So and that's where you see Galanti was executing that kicking for territory. Even Matea's making the right decisions. Yeah, just for me, what I have done is that the Stormers they were just too organized for Benetton.
yeah,
In terms of how they wanted to go about this game. Yes, first off, but it was the nature of how the game was from both sides. Like you said, test match vibe. But then Stormers in the second half, the pressure paid off at the end
yeah,
of the day. Mm.
yeah. And they again, they've got better players. They've got so it's going to edge them. If you go test match for test match style, they're going to beat you because they have a
Yeah.
stronger set piece. You
Mm.
can see they're out kicking you. So why not run and gun and just say, okay, we're gonna go run for run, and you
Yeah.
try and pull them into that game where now they're also doing running it back, where
Doing
now
the
they can make mistakes
yes.
and you can capitalize. That's the kind of game that you would have thought that they would have wanted. But I don't know, maybe it was due to the weather. The pitch did look a bit sticky.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
Stormers.
hey,
For me, Stormers
Stormers
did they
still.
just look well coached? They look like the only well coached team in South Africa. They look like the only team that used their preseason properly. And now we're going to get 5 weeks till the next game. It's a mini preseason of sorts. So we'll
Yeah.
see where guys can fix things here and there. And if they'll come back looking a bit better. But like for the Stormers, they've just strong set piece, kicking game. They've
Yeah.
got everything, and they've got the players there. That's the most important thing for me is that they've got the players there now. Last season they
Yeah.
didn't have this personnel. It wasn't, and the guys are looking up for it. And they had injuries last season. Now you've got Willems playing. You don't have
Yeah.
injured Willems. Who is gonna do what?
Yeah. Yeah. And they look there and they are doing better, So surprisingly so. Maybe it's also the continuity of having double still there, you know,
Yeah,
and it's paying off for them. I think he's always, generally had good success wherever he's coached. So yeah, yeah. And the only team, like you say, looking like they're being coached properly, looking like there's people that are thinking about okay, who they playing, what they want to do. And at the same time, the only team that's that's leading the way, for our franchises to say, you can't go overseas, you can't go over there and come back with a 5 out of 5 tour. You can't do that. It's not impossible. So it's about having all our teams being there and consistent, because when it's URC, as much as yes, we Sharks, Lions, and whatever, but we want the South African teams to do well,
yeah.
and yeah, look, credit
Except
to
for the
those
Bulls.
Stormers for sure.
Joking.
Yeah, look,
Joking, but I'm not joking.
we'll leave the Northern Transvaal alone out of this one a little bit, but yeah, look. Yeah, but look, like I was saying, credit to the Stormers, man.
Yeah.
They at least, yeah, they're doing the business. You just hope that going into phase two, three, and four of this plan they can keep it going.
Yeah. Closing remarks. Closing remarks. Box for
Big
me
weekend for
gonna
the
get the win.
box.
Yeah.
Big weekend for the box. That's what I'm saying. Big weekend for the box.
Yeah. Porthen. Hope he has a good debut. It's like you said, not against a massive scrumming side. I've been watching him and his side of the scrum, and he's not going forward, but he's holding steady and he's allowing the Lucia
Mm.
to do their job. So we'll see. I'm sure he'll have a good performance there. And yeah, box to get the win.
big win for the
Yeah.
Boks. Yes, sir.
That's it from us. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening.
Mhm.
And yeah, it's been confirmed. Plum out. It's been confirmed.
Plum out.